Welcome back to Startup School. My name is Timon. I'm a go-to-market manager at Google for Startups, and it's a great pleasure to have you here all again on Startup School session number 3. Today, it's going to be maybe not a surprise, but finally we will know why we said go bananas and beyond. We had this fantastic model, Nano Banana, that was almost viral, I would say. And we're going to learn more about Nano Banana, so image generation and image modification today. And we're going to talk about VO model, that is all about videos. Today on Startup School Generative Media, as I said, once again, warm welcome for all of those that are here with us back after first week. But if you're here for the first time and you just learned, please make sure you drop hi on a chat on the right-hand side and say that this is your first time. I hope you're gonna love it. Without further ado, just an intro from my side. This is Startup School Generative Media. We are in week 2. I hope you liked the week 1 when we talked about, laying the grounds, showing some demos, showing what is possible in generative AI media world. We received your feedback. We've read it. We're trying to implement some changes already. But today we're in the middle of week 2. We're talking about image and video generation. And next session is going to be all about voice. So we will hear finally our models and we will hear our prototypes. In week 3, we're going to take the prototype to production and deploy our apps on Google Cloud. We're going to have the guest speakers from 11 Labs. So again, voice and voice cloning AI. And in the last mile, we're going to make sure that our app is ready to serve the scale. This is Startup School. This is live. This is available to watch on demand. I saw a couple of questions also on our Discord channel, which I'm going to mention later on. Our structure is that this is live as we speak right now. It's a morning in Europe and probably late afternoon or evening in APAC. This will be available to rewatch in about 10 hours when we have our live class for Americas. Tuesday and Thursday, every time, the same time, we have the labs for you prepared in Google Skills platform, and you can obtain badges over there. Most of you probably already redeemed the credits for Google Skills, but just a short reminder, we are providing you 200 credits for our platform called Google Skills. It's an educational platform by Google that can teach you a lot of very practical skills. There are multiple courses, multiple labs. Labs are especially my favorite because you get a full guidance and access to a very powerful machine to practice very specific use cases, like an image generation, like a video generation, like evaluating your model. Here are the instructions. They were also shared with you on an email, so you should be good to go. In case of any troubles, I still know that this redemption process is not the simplest one, but is the one that we have. In case you have any troubles, make sure you drop an email at startupschool-external@google.com. I think at this point we have 100% success rate when we finally got in touch with you and everybody said in the end, oh, it worked finally. If you cannot find the link and that we are asking to use, here's the link on the right-hand side for QR code, but make sure you're scanning this in the incognito mode and you logged out of your current Google Skills account if you have already one. Okay, last but not least, just a few minutes of intro, housekeeping rules. We have a chat on the right-hand side, and I'll be there with you in just a second. But if you have a very substantial questions to the topic of today's class, so image generation, video generation, how it all works, what's your use case, maybe you're struggling with something, drop that question down in the panel below this video. We have experts today in our class, and also myself, a little expert, to be there and to try to answer your questions in real time. But if we see an interesting ones that we can ask our instructor at the end, the most upvoted ones, we'll try to ask and discuss them at the end of our class today. This is recorded, but we are not sharing the slides. And I think more or less we are ready. And surprise, surprise, no surprise, today's instructor is your favorite one. It's Shailon, again, our fantastic, great startup evangelist and the best expert in this whole world of generative AI media. Shai, welcome again. It's nice to have you here. Our duo is always ready to serve startup schools to our participants. Over to you. Have fun. We see each other in about an hour when we will have the traditional Q&A. Over to you.
Thank you, Timon. Really appreciate it. All right. So today we are talking about maybe what you came for. So image and video, image with Nano Banana and video with VO3 and 3.1. Let's get started because we have a packed agenda. We are going to be generating and editing images. Same for video, creating a full narrative, a multimodal agent, and more. So let's get started. And I will run through these demos very fast, and then we're going to reach the actual code here. Nano Banana, as Timon said, went viral and like broke the internet in terms of what it can do for a multitude of reasons. Okay, and its main ability to remain and transform context from one position to another is something very, very unique. Just a high level understanding of how you work with this in terms of input, it accepts text, images, and even PDFs, generally up to 3 image references. And in terms of output, its modalities are text and image. 1K image resolution, has control over the aspect ratio, responsible AI filters, synth ID, which we covered before, what this means, and provision throughput if you need a serious workload in terms of size. So in terms of capabilities, we're going to be digging into each of this. I will mention this is the leading model in terms of user scores and user satisfaction. And let's see the actual use cases. So again, advertising here, if you have a specific handbag that you are trying to sell, creating a narrative around it is something really important. So here, a 3-part Instagram story about with this handbag, right? So this is just one out-of-the-box capability, decor and design. So here, designing the chair inside the room and making it all seamless. So part of the challenges with this kind of technology is making it blend in correctly. So you can see here that the shadow was actually portrayed correctly. And this is something very hard to simulate, if you will, right? So because we don't have a 3D model of this room, so the model needs to just get it, if you will, and adjust the lighting correctly. In terms of image editing, here you can see removal of people from the background. I have actually done this on my photos. Really cool stuff, very useful. And if you put that all together, right, you're able to combine images into one coherent scene. You're able to do product placements. You're able to transform from one situation to another. So now we have the speaker with the group, and we transform the group into the beach without actually, you can see that the lighting is actually coherent, right? So it actually became more yellowish kind of later hour in the day. Here we have a 3D design or a 2D design turned into a 3D design, and even seeing the space and transforming the actual furniture inside the space. Here we are applying the model's logic to actually understand how this skull would look as a creature. And Basically, again, even things like logos and text work really, really well with Nano Banana. And all of this is done with natural language editing. Style transfer, we covered before, text on images. These are just quick reminders of what we are going to be doing before we dig into the actual code. So text on images and applying text. Here you can see this is not simple, right? So you have a lot of information here, and the user provided the content, but the model Nano Banana came up with these fonts, with the hierarchy, right? So Summer Festival is like the main thing, whereas the date is displayed smaller. So this is a very cool way to actually go and portray the information. It's extremely fast, very good at object consistency, person consistency, even animal consistency, as we'll see soon, and provides us with a really good end user experience. In terms of customer stories, even leaders in media like Adobe
You can't stop this. I don't go slow.
are using Nano Banana to power their applications. Okay, and in this case, Adobe Firefly. So works really great, the integration of Nano Banana within Adobe's products. Just getting a bit technical here. You've heard of Imagen, you've heard of Nano Banana. Like, what are the differences? So at a very high level, we recommend using Nano Banana, also known as Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, as the main as your main image model, both for image creation and image editing. A special use case where Imagen is more useful is if you need higher resolution or if you need faster speeds. So that's just something to consider when you are working with these models. I will also mention, in terms of cost, generally around 4 cents per image, okay, at a very high level. Just want to be clear about the pricing of this. With that being said, let's see a demo, and this is a Colab tutorial. So it's, you can see here, created by Katie, which I will later share her details. And I will just 1 second show it, and I loaded it in advance. So 1 second, please. All right. So here you can see I loaded this in Google Colab. If you are not using Google Colab, it's an amazing tool to go and try different notebooks. So you can see here, again, there is link to open in Colab, Colab Enterprise, and so forth. So part of the power of Google Colab is that basically Google is giving me for free resources in the cloud to run this notebook. So it encapsulates a Python environment to go ahead and run this notebook. Okay, so here what is going on? Basically, we are installing the Google Gen AI SDK. So up till now, all the demos I showed were using the Google Gen AI SDK for JavaScript or for TypeScript, more accurately. Now we are using the Google Gen AI in Python. Okay. Here, what I did, I already did this in advance just to save us some time. But basically, it authenticates with my logged in user. Okay. and imports a bunch of libraries basically to show what we are doing. I did need to input the project ID in Google Cloud that I want to be working with. It does support getting it as an environment variable, but I wanted to be explicit here with the project I am using. As mentioned, Nano Banana is called Gemini 2.5 Flash Image. Okay, so the first part of this notebook will send text prompts to Gemini 2.5 describing the images we would like to generate. Here you can see the parameters that are supported. So model ID, as I mentioned, Gemini 2.5 image, contents, a cartoon infographic on flying sneakers, response modalities, we only want image. So as I mentioned before, Nano Banana supports both image and text as modalities. Here we only want image, and we want the aspect ratio to be 9:16. So this is vertical, and candidate count is the amount of images we want to generate. So in this case, 1. So we ran this code, and you can see here it generated this amazing kind of infographic around flying sneakers, which are efficient, they are fast, and they are comfortable to walk on air. Okay, so and this is like the ultimate walkthrough. Okay, so this is really cool. Let's just change this on the fly. So instead of a cartoon infographic, we'll do a serious infographic on Nano Banana and AI editing image model. Okay, so hopefully that will yield good results. So part of the power of Colab is, again, I can run this kind of step midway. So you can see it deleted the previous step, and you can see here now our infographic is much more serious. So Nano Banana, transforming visuals with artificial intelligence. Here are the core features and the accuracy. Now, I did not provide a lot of information on what I want in the content, so the AI kind of gets creative. Obviously, I could supply more information. I will mention that we want this to be very accurate, right? And in this case, you can see, for example, the AI actually made a mistake. It wrote like Nano Banana. So this is why we are getting into the realm of generative media agents, right? So in a real application, if we're just doing this automatically, what we would want is, after creating this image, have Gemini look at the image and actually go ahead and decide on its quality, basically. So that is that. And we also support text to image and text. What does that mean? You can see here in terms of the configurations, create a tutorial explaining how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in 3 easy steps. For each step, provide a title with the number of the step, an explanation, and also generate an image to illustrate the content. Label each image with the step number, but no other words. Okay, and we are accepting both text and image, aspect ratio of 4:3, and you can see we didn't explicitly say how many images to create, but we kind of let the model decide here. So you can see the model replied with this text. Okay, it's a breeze. Here are 3 steps. 1, gather your ingredients. So, and you can see it even labeled the image as 1. 2 is spread the peanut butter and jelly, and 3 is combine and enjoy, right? So pretty good tutorial, I would say. And part of the power here is you can see it maintains consistency between these different steps, right? So this is the same peanut butter and the same jelly and the same bread and the same kitchen throughout the entire scenery, right? Whereas if I would have just generated these 3 steps, let's say with Gemini alone, and just used Imagen or something like that, I would have gotten 3 completely different scenes, or similar scenes maybe, if I describe them well, but not identical. So part of the power here with Nano Banana is doing just that. Let's try and change this, right? So how to make a let's do how to kick a free kick in football. Okay, football, real football, not soccer, aka soccer. Okay, so in 3 easy steps. For each step, provide an explanation, also generate, label each image. Okay, so let's run this. And you can see here, by the way, this is just boilerplate code to render, and we get, and this is something prolific with the Gemini models, not just the image model. So you also get it in the LLM. You get candidates, content, and parts. So your code should assume that it gets at least one part in the response, but sometimes more. So that's why you need this for loop. Okay, and you can see it actually came up with how to do this. So we see our player here setting up for the free kick, striking the ball, and follow through. Okay, so these are the steps. We can also generate image-to-image inputs. Okay, so image-to-image is when we supply one or more reference images. This is useful for ensuring character consistency, logos, objects, transferring styles, all kinds of things like that. And here, just for the sake of the example, we downloaded a specific dog, right? So this is the exact dog we want to work with. We don't want a different dog. We don't want a generic dog. We want this dog, okay? And we want to create a pencil sketch image of this dog wearing a cowboy hat in a Western-themed setting. So you can see here, again, pretty simple code. The Google Gen AI SDK abstracts away all the less convenient parts of this model. So you are really left with only the most functioning parts. We want one candidate, so one image. We specify the aspect ratio. Quick nuance, if you are not specifying the aspect ratio, then the model will just default to the proportions of the last reference image that you provided. So if you're providing 2 images, one is vertical, one is horizontal, then, and you did not specify the aspect ratio, then you will get a horizontal image in the proportions of the second image. Okay, and now we can see we got this amazing pencil sketch of our dog with the hat. Let's just change this, and instead of pencil sketch, we are going to be doing watercolor painting, and run this. You can see this model is super fast and super reliable. So I'm able to demo it online for you, which is a lot of fun. This turned out great. And as you can see, again, part of the beauty here is that it's the exact same dog, right? Down to the exact coloring of the ears here. And this is what made this model so popular, and why you are empowered as a developer to, or as a startup, to create unique and fun solutions with it, right? So here, reimagine the kitchen in the same style. So we have the living room, which is great. And what we want, using the concepts, colors, and themes from this living room, generate a kitchen and dining room with the same aesthetic, aspect ratio very wide, and you can see that in action. Okay, so this is really, really great and effective, and just a way to visualize content. I won't edit it. I think you got the idea already. And multi-turn editing is also very important, and I want you to realize why. So here we can see a photograph of a specific perfume brand, right? And we want to change the perfume color to light purple. And here we also set the aspect ratio, and you can see we got it in light purple. So nothing changed. It's at the exact same level, only now it is purple. And we can, once we have that, right, go and like do the next step, which is to inscribe the word flowers in French on the perfume in a delicate white cursive font. So this is, I guess, how you say flowers in French. I'm not a French speaker. Okay, and you can actually go ahead, right? And once you have this product, put it in, let's say, an advertisement or something like that. The importance here to realize is that the model is very good at small incremental changes in comparison to big changes, right? So if I only provided this image and asked basically for both changes at once, so both a light purple and the text, it may work. If I asked for 3 changes, it is less likely to work. So whenever you can break into a separate workflow, I think that yields better results. We covered this when I showed you the photo restoration program I built. So it first like adds detail, removes scratches. Second is adds contrast, and only then does a colorization, right? And doesn't attempt to do it all in one step. Here, multiple reference image. So we have this model with this specific suitcase, and we want to generate an image of the woman and add a caption for social media. Okay, so you can see here text and image, and we have the woman, and this is great. Okay, let's just do again, woman pulling the suitcase in a spaceship, wearing an astronaut suit. I'm not sure I'm writing astronaut correctly, but let's go with it. And I will run this. So here I actually asked for multiple changes, right? So I actually want the woman to be wearing an astronaut suit and to be taking this luggage. I won't say that it's perfect because I'm not sure this is the exact same woman, right? So this is why I want you to realize that in some cases it may be smarter to first create the woman in the astronaut suit and then place her with the luggage. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's useful for you. Let's go here, and again, you have the full notebook that you can go and play around with. Okay, and this is the URL. I'll give you another chance to go ahead and scan it, and then we are moving on to video generation. Actually, I'm sorry, but 1 second, I need to share the exact tab. So I'm sorry about that. All kinds of issues with how the audio gets shared. So all right, here we are. So now you are a Nano Banana expert. Let's go into video generation. And Google recently released VO 3.1. So this is an iterative enhancement over VO 3 that really does provide a lot more capabilities and a lot of fun. VO, as we mentioned, synchronizes the video with the audio and the dialogue, provides character consistency, realism, and much more. Number one rated models, both in audio, text to video, image to video, and you get a lot of enterprise grade control over what gets generated. In terms of the model specs, again, the inputs are text and images, up to 3 reference images, so much like Nano Banana. In terms of the output, you get videos, synchronized audio and dialogue, both 720p option and full HD 180p, 24 frames per second, lengths of 4, 6, and 8 seconds, aspect ratio both vertical and horizontal, and as we said, synth ID. So the synth ID is a watermark that Google can identify that these are created with Google Generative Media capabilities. So let's see reference to video in action. And in this case, we have our model. We have a clothing set with multiple items, right? So I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. We have the actual scene, and we ask the model to go ahead and
Hello, is anybody here?
in the scene.
What's going on?
Okay, so this is reference to videos. Here we'll just see another one example. This is the scene, model 1, model 2, and
of all the offices in this town, you had to walk into mine.
You were highly recommended.
okay. So you can see how we can develop this. Once we have the scene, we have the people, we can actually create a full long narrative, right? Now, this is another critical and very useful feature when working with video models. One of the most useful, in my opinion. It's first and last frame, okay, or what is called interpolation. You can see here we have the starting frame as the singer singing, right? And if we wanted to finish with this exact scene where we see her from behind, this is something very hard to do with just one text to image, right? And basically the model would need to figure out the ending of the scene. So when we provide both the start and the end, our prompts can be much shorter, and we will get much more consistency in our actual output. So let's see that in action.
When you look me in the eyes, I can see a million stars.
Okay, so just I hope that gets a point across. Image to video, most useful way of, if you do have an image mainly created with Nano Banana and you want that as the exact start, this is a great way to do it.
Just a little further.
Okay, text to video, as it sounds. So even if you don't have any references whatsoever, not a first frame, not a last frame, not any references, you can just make things up and Veo will go with it. Please note that with text to video, you get a lot of creativity, but you get a lot of variance, right? So you did not provide the character. So in this case, right, a tired corporate worker rubbing his temples in exhaustion, right? So by his, it implies male, but other than that, it can be anyone. So, any age, any, appearance. So this is something to take into consideration when you're doing text to video, that you will get a lot of variance. So in general, I find like supplying either references or the first image to be a more coherent way to work with this. Now, removing objects. This is a super, super powerful technique. You can see here, we have a source video and we in-painted it to remove the actual dinosaur. This is supported currently on only Veo 2, but you can chain models together, right? So, for example, if the user provided the video, or you created something with Veo 3 that you like, but you want to only remove a specific item, this is a great way to do it. Adding objects is also a good possibility. So you can see, given our reference model, flowers were added, a mask, another person, and even a cat. Video extension is coming soon. This is something very powerful. So, and you can see here, even in this fast-moving scene, right, we can actually go and not lose context of the actual scene. So this is very exciting. Just want to show you again, the leaders in generative media adopting Google's technology. Yep. So I really love the animation they did. The audio is also in full sync, but I want to speak. So you can see here, they actually transformed this in Adobe Firefly using Google Veo 3.1. Exciting stuff. I'll just show a couple of more, and then we'll hop into the notebook and do it ourselves.
Ever have a craving so big it feels larger than life? A craving for the perfect burger, the perfect fries, and the ultimate ketchup to bring it all together? Introducing Sunstone, a premium crafted ketchup made from heirloom tomatoes. It's time to bring that epic flavor back to reality. Sunstone Ketchup, unreal taste for real life.
Okay, so you can see this is a true professional ad. And how did they build it? Basically, they used Gemini 2.5 Pro for like the script and writing the content. They used Nano Banana to create all these different images, right? Of we have the woman and we have the bottle, and then we transform the woman as like being small next to the bottle. We have the woman riding on cheese, riding on a burger, holding the fries, and so forth. We create different clips with Veo 3.1, and the voiceover was actually with Gemini TTS. So this is the app that we went into in previous sessions, and we also have the next session going into TTS. So stay tuned. But you can see here, doesn't require a full production studio, you can actually do this quite simply with these tools. Tech commercial, we'll just see the first few seconds because it's similar.
Do you remember when you were a child?
Okay, but again, part of the power here is
You'd build entire
the consistency of the characters along in these scenes. Catalog enrichment, another strong use case. So you can see both outpainting and adding more information to the image, and then using that as the start image to create a video and make the catalog much more interesting. So from a regular sofa to now a sofa with people in an actual living room. Here you can see, again, good usage of first and last frame to create this spinning clothing item. In terms of pricing and availability, it's around, we have two models. So we have VO 3.1 fast, which is fantastic for the vast majority of use cases, and VO 3.1, let's call it full. This is has more features. So 3.1 has slightly more features. It's around 40 cents per second for video and audio, whereas you in VO 3.1 you have it for 15 cents per second. Okay, so just to get a grasp of the differences. Another just couple of examples. So again, references. You can see here the fox, the man, and the train all in one coherent scene. This is done with reference interpolation. So we have the model and her eye. Okay, so if we try to do this video with only the starting photo of the model, we could not really do this. Okay, so this is something, because we supplied both the first frame and the last frame, we are able to do a smooth transition between them into this exact state that we're looking to get. Okay, here's another one.
I will win.
And adding objects, you can see here the capybara has some jewelry. Removing objects, here the hand is gone. And let's see all this in action in the collab. Before that, I will say, part of the reason I'm showing you all this kind of stuff, right, is you can see Justine Moore from Andreessen Horowitz, like they are the top VCs in the world are exactly interested in the kind of companies that can work and build production studios using these technologies, right? So this is Justine is literally saying, like, we need a Nano Banana for video, and we are providing you with the building blocks to actually go and build this kind of product with Nano Banana, with the various techniques I just showed around the VO, right? So I hope that inspires you that we are still very early on in the game, a lot of opportunities around generative media, which even have the top VCs in the world interested in. So hopefully you have opened by now this collab, which is again created by Katie, and I will just stop sharing for a quick second to move to the one I already have open. All right. So you can see here again, I opened it in Colab. Colab is an amazing tool to help you experience these technologies. Again, using the Google Gen AI SDK, authenticating, loading my specific project, And okay, we have video model fast, and the Gemini model. And when we are generating the model, what I really love about this notebook is that it gives a lot of different examples, right? So, and gives you like a best practice of how to create a prompt. You have here a link for full like prompting techniques, and this is a full guide, very detailed. Sorry about all these pop-ups. So a very detailed guide of how to prompt VO3, which is great, you know, even if you have a model doing the prompting for you, at least to encapsulate this knowledge. You can see here like a different, you know, lens effects, style, where you have a bunch of things, temporal effects. So all of these will help you when you're actually trying to create the exact video that you're looking to create, right? So now you'll use Gemini to take all of the keywords and combine them into a detailed VO prompt, right? So and this is an important concept. VO generations tend to take a while, right? So like they can take a minute or something, and they are not super cheap. So you saw like for the VO 3.1, 40 cents per second, right? So it's not super cheap. So you should have good prompts, and using Gemini to create these prompts is an easy and effective way to get top quality prompts. So you can see here, you're an expert video prompt engineer, synthesize, and here are the mandatory keywords. Again, you know, you can even add more best practices as you go along, depending on your exact use case, and generating the videos, right? So here we have a garden gnome singing a pop song in a whimsical outdoor garden. I let it run before. As with Nano Banana, again, the Gen AI SDK does the heavy lifting for you. Okay, so it's very simple, like aspect ratio 16:9, number of videos 1. Here is the duration, allowing adults. There are, as mentioned, all kinds of guardrails if you want to like avoid having people or something like that. And here we can see the end output. I don't think you can hear it just because I'm not sharing one tab. But anyway, the audio is correctly, and the detective is interrogating this rubber duck as requested. Okay, so here we can see a bowl of pottery wheel, person sculpting, saying, "Wow, I love this one." Not sure why I didn't create it. Okay, and let's just give this another run. Oh, I think I didn't put a bucket. I should have put a bucket in, but okay. So that's why it didn't work. Here we have flowers. So this is already a pre-made image of flowers as the starting frame. And what we are doing is like zooming in, no subject animation. These are, again, just words, right? So it's not that these are preset filters. It's just an easy way to get started when you are working with VO. So send the video request, zoom out of the flower field, play whimsical music, right? So very high level prompt. And we are creating this, and let's see if it worked. Again, you won't be able to hear the actual music. Okay. So this is nice, like we got to see the actual field in action. All right, so this is VO at a very high level, like prompting VO to get what you need done. Again, sorry for changing tabs. 1 second. I need to go back to my okay, 1 second. Here we are. Perfect. So yeah, and we are at step 3, creating a narrative. And when we are creating a narrative, what we really wanted to do was create a storyboard. I made a short video actually yesterday to encompass this point. So check it out, and then we'll discuss how it's made.
Welcome, startup builders.
Yeah. Let's learn how to work with VO3 and Nano Banana.
We're going to show you all the tips and tricks to create amazing AI videos.
Maintaining character consistency along with smooth transitions isn't easy, so let's dig in.
And just a reminder, on session 7, we'll cover avatars.
Just like us.
Okay, so you can see these are, this is like a hook to the avatar sessions that we will have later on in our curriculum. I do want you to kind of realize how I went about and built this. So 1 second. Here is my Gen Media Studio, a small app that I built. And you can see here the prompts I made. Again, I have the developer tools open because I want to show you the network requests. This app uses the TypeScript GenAI SDK, so it can run in the browser, but very similar to what we had seen so far. So you can see here, like a stunning, hyper-realistic studio portrait. These are prompts that Gemini came up with. So we have our guy. Okay, Gemini also came up with the lady. So we have our lady, which is great. And I wanted the small enhancement, right? So I wanted her to have a black V-neck shirt. So you can see here, right, what actually I did was I prompted it, right? She has a black V-neck shirt and provided the original generated image. And let's see one of these. If you actually look, the changes basically only added the shirt, right? And everything else stays exactly the same. This small app, again, I just vibe coded to make it easy for me to realize, what kind of changes, just be able to compare, stack them on top of each other, put them side by side, all kinds of fun capabilities when you're creating a storyboard. Okay, so we now have our two presenters, our two avatars. My next step was, sorry for this scrolling up. So my next step here was saying they are seen together in the same neon studio. Okay, and we have the man, we have the woman, and I did not like these enough, right? So because I felt like they are a bit too close to each other. So I changed the prompt. They are seen together in the same neon studio with studio podcast microphones. So this like puts them a bit apart. And I also set here the specific aspect ratio, right? So I believe I did set like the aspect ratio of 16:9. Okay, and again, this is how you go and create a storyboard for creating the starting images and the end images that will later be served for VO. Okay, so here we got a good a good photo of them. And again, I wanted the man holding a tiny banana in his hand, right? Because if you saw in the video, the man says Nano Banana and like holds up a banana. So it gave me these images. Let's just open one of them, which is great, but I didn't want it so close here to the microphone. So I actually said pushing it directly for the audience to see, nothing else to change. So got a better variation of this Nano Banana here. Okay, now let's look at how we go and do the close-ups, because if you recall from the video, yeah, we had close-ups of the two characters, right? So here we have the woman in the close-up, here we have the man, and we have them both, without the banana, and we have them with the banana. Okay, so multiple starting images that we need, and so here you can see literally like I added her initial frame as reference 1, added her in the podcast studio as frame 2, and asked a close-up of the podcaster in the studio setting. Did the same for the man. You can see not all images are perfect. So for example, when I asked for a zoom out, I got her with 2 microphones. So we still at this point need our natural intelligence to go in and review these photos. But anyway, this is how we create the full scenery. Okay, let's just go and recreate one of these images. So you can see here we have the man, and this is the original image, and I want it just slightly zoomed out. So I have here in the prompt, slightly zoomed out 20%. Okay, let's just generate one new image, because I really want you to take a look at the network tool. So when I generate, in effect, 2 requests happening. One is to Gemini Flashlight, and this just gives it this nice title, so futuristic tech podcaster. And the second is to Gemini Flash Image. Okay, and so you can see here like Flash Image. The payload is the actual image. So we have here like 2.5 megabytes. And the prompt that we used, the modalities and everything as I requested them, and the preview. Okay, so the preview here is again like a 2.7 megabyte image as the response. So this is with image generation. I do want you to also see how video generation looks like. So I will just remix this, and when I am in video mode, so you can see I already prepared a prompt here. The man with an engaging smile looks directly at the camera and says, "Just a reminder, on session 7 we'll cover avatars just like us." Okay, this is something I tend to put. So no music, no transitions, no jumps, no effect. And for model, we'll use VO 3.1 fast. Aspect ratio is good. We are using frames to video with 720p. And this is our first image. I can again also add a ending image, last frame, to do interpolation, but we don't need it here. So let's generate the video, and because I want you to actually go and see this process, right? So again, we are using Flashlight to create this kind of like Tech Studio avatar session, right? But more importantly, when we are working with VO, we don't get the response with the content. Okay, this is something very, very important. So unlike with Nano Banana that you just get a response with the content, here when you are working with VO, you get an operation, right? And you can see the SDK, like the code is checking in on this operation, checking and getting a response that it's still not ready. So okay, good. So after multiple attempts, finally it says like, here you go. Here is the URL for the video. We go ahead and download the video and let's see how it turned out. Okay, so it sounds correct. Again, sorry that you're not necessarily hearing this because of technical issues, but it does sound correct and sound. Okay, so this is, just to show you, this is a very quick app that I just vibe coded, basically. You can actually go and do this kind of thing yourself. So if you go and this is my personal Google AI Studio, when you are here, go to VO 3.1, and you actually have a full app here. I will. Sorry. Yeah. Let's. Yeah. In my other account, I actually put the key in, but basically you have a full working code here for an app that works with VO. Okay, and this is good curated code. You have the text to video example frames where you can supply the first frame and the last frame. You have reference to video. So basically everything you need to actually get productive with working with VO here, provided in this example. So we are good. Sorry, I have to take a drink. Okay, so now that you've seen my example here, I do want to show you one of our best and most effective curated examples. This is an open source example. Oops, sorry. So github.com cloud platform Vertex AI Creative Studio. Okay, a uniquely powerful and interesting project. Let's just set it up. And again, I'm sorry for switching the tabs here, but I want to share the audio while I'm working with you. So bear with me here. All right. So so you can see here, this is the Vertex AI Creative Studio. Oh, wait. Yes, I am sharing. Okay, so this is the Vertex AI Creative Studio. It is a remarkable project that is very well maintained. Okay, and this provides you with the full setup for actually not just how to run this locally, but actually go ahead and deploy this, right? So creating the environment variables, deploying with a custom domain, initializing Terraform. Unfortunately, we won't have time today to do this, but the instructions are very clear, and as a hint, you can have Gemini CLI actually do a lot of this stuff for you. Okay, hopefully we can cover it in a different session. So here you can see this is like the full tutorial, and again, deploying to Cloud Shell. You know, if you want to very quickly set this up, you can do this. Okay, but I already set it up locally, so let's see that in action. 1 second. Okay, so I have this running on my local machine. I apologize for these colors. I've seen in the comments that some of the people preferred not dark mode. I personally prefer dark mode, but hopefully this is useful for you. So you can see here our Gen Media Studio has really the best of the best, both in terms of working with the models directly and in terms of implementation workflows. Okay, so you can see here like motion portraits, character consistency, you know, shopping and e-commerce, all kinds of stuff, right? So let's go and see this a bit in action inside our product. And I will choose here a lovely dog that I have prepared in advance. 1 second. Okay, so you can see I uploaded a photo of an AI generated dog, and my prompt is portray the dog as a super powerful wizard, and keep it still super realistic. In terms of aspect ratio, we are going to do 16:9 because later I want to turn this into a video, so I want this to be the starting frame. You can see we have all kinds of actions here to do a bunch of stuff, but I will just generate the image. And again, this is using Nano Banana with the reference image of our dog. Okay, and as I mentioned, this is like a full production setup. It goes ahead and like save this image to a bucket, right? So it's a full setup that you can actually go and use. I'm pretty happy with our wizard dog. So let's go ahead and turn it into video, right? So you can see here, it's the first frame in our video, and what we have here, animate, like make a cinematic scene with the dog wizard, right? So not the best prompt I ever came up with, but let's see what we get. Everything here looks good. Let's do auto enhance and allow all ages. Okay, not that it matters because we don't have any humans in this, but let's go ahead and do this and create the video. So this might take like a minute. In the meantime, what I will do is open in a new tab here, the motion portrait, and I will upload a photo of myself. Okay, here we are. Let's use VO 3.1 fast. Let's do this vertical this time, length, and let's see, selling. Okay, let's see how I can sell, right? So this is a lot of fun, and create moving portrait, and let's see that one running and creating in the meantime until we get our dog. 1 second. Oops. My apologies, 1 second. Okay, here we are. We have the dog, and I believe you will be able to hear the audio, so let's do that. Okay, so I love the wizard dog. I hope you do also. Let's see, this one should finish any second now. And if not, then we'll just move on. Okay, so we'll move on. I don't want to take up all of the time on this. Oh, 1 second. Okay, so it did finish, so we will see that.
You in mind. It's faster, more intuitive, and I genuinely believe you're going to love it.
Okay, so I'm doing some pretty good selling here. So I do invite you to go ahead and play around with this really fun stuff. And what you can, this is the code that is actually running this entire project here locally on my machine. As I mentioned, there is a full tutorial of how to both set it up and roll it out. But just so you can see, the Terraform here is actually really high production ready code, right? And if you look at the main.py here, this actually goes all the way into getting signed URLs for the content in the buckets, right? Even using content security policies for the browser, a bunch of really well put together code and reference code that takes you all the way from playing around with it locally to deploying it in the cloud. Okay, so with that being said, I do want to thank you very, very much. Okay, it's been a pleasure doing this session with you. We are out of time, unfortunately. We have the next session in which we'll go more into text-to-speech and see how we can really bring alive narratives there together with generative media agents and bring that to the next level. I will also mention, not sure why I'm not seeing it. 1 second. That, oh, it's on skip. Okay, so I will also mention thank you to Katie and Ivan for a lot of the content here. So setting up the notebooks, you can go and reach out to them, connect with them. Really appreciate it. They are doing the later session today for the US time zone, which will also be recorded. And do take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is a well-deserved break for you, Shai, right now, and it's time for me. Thank you to all our participants for being so engaged in the chat and the questions. As usual, we hit 2 pages of questions. I try to be there on the chat as well with you guys. So before we go into the Q&A session, few pieces of information from my side. First one up, I just wanted to correct myself. Indeed, this Generative Media Creative Studio is available on GitHub. I said it's not on the chat, but it is. So you have the link over there and you can see how the code looks like. But it's not only the only thing that is accessible. The other accessible thing is the Google for Startups Cloud program. A few people on chat mentioned this already, that they are part of this. So what does it mean, the cloud program? This is our way to help you to build your AI solution with us. There are different tiers for different kinds of startups, with depending whether you are funded or pre-funded. You can get a few $1,000s, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars to use on everything that is pay as you go on Google Cloud. So this is the whole infrastructure, computing, but also these queries and prompts to different AI models that were shown also today. So make sure you take a look at Google/Cloud-program, apply with your information. You have to set up your GCP account first. You have your billing ID, and so on and so forth. So this is the credits program. There is access to also to some experts and exclusive workshops, but also to different perks from our partners. So you can build your full stack, whether you need databases, you need some monitoring, and so on and so forth. We are great friends with many other companies that are helping startups to grow. So there are some exclusive offers that are tied to our cloud program. With that, let me just go through a couple of things I already presented. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, if you haven't taken a look yet, please do right now. So we have the Google for Startups Gemini Kit. So everything that we talked about here is around Gemini API. And this is a one-stop shop for all of you to start building with Gemini. It's a great place with the resources, materials to learn, links to documentation. So if you're thinking that the Gemini Kit and Gemini APIs, whether it's a video or image, is for you, this is a place for start, I guess. Agent Handbook, if you're creating an agent and you want to use those generative AI media with your agentic workflows, this is a great source as well. Great hacks, let's say more for business people. So Agent Handbook is here. And then for more of a, let's say, technical guide for CDOs, for developers. This is much more complex. But if you want to create a fully fledged agent, this is our latest production, our latest material. Very nice read. So make sure you can download and read it. It's available on Google/Agent Guide, or you can scan the QR code with your phone right now. Next one up, I've already seen most of you there. I've been there today, answered one question. There is a Google developer community. You can join. Pop right in. There is a Startup School Gen AI channel over there, but also make sure you find a Gemini channel that is also run by Google, and a lot of cool stuff. And great people are there in the Gemini. This is mostly for bigger developers, and we have our channel over there. But make sure you also see the Gemini channel. Now, my question to you: would you be so kind and leave us a feedback right now? In this moment, you can scan, and while I'll be asking Shai some questions, you can fill out the form. It's either by scanning the QR code or going to the link over there. Please just mark the first session, because we didn't have a Thursday yet one. It's going to be the same link, but just mark your attendance for the first session, leave us the feedback. And I added a thumbs ups and thumbs down to our feedback form, because we received a couple of very dissatisfied opinions, but then the comments were good. So I'm not sure if the order of dissatisfied, that this first one is the best one. So I just, in case, I put the thumbs ups and thumbs down over there in the feedback form. But we have received, I think, a couple of hundred feedbacks last week, and we would love to hear more from you. What you like, what you didn't like, how applicable it is to your business. Okay. With that, it's a time for Shai. A few minutes for a break, and now he is back with us. Okay, let's start up with this first one, because I think this is still quite difficult for people to understand. We have such a variety of models, and we are publishing them very often, and especially in this field that we talked about today, images. We had the Imagen model as the model that creates images for years almost, right? Imagen 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now. But then Out of the sudden, out of nowhere, Nano Banana came, which is a different. It's just a nickname. It's a Flash native, right? We know the full name, but it can be confusing. And should I use Imagen? Should I use Nano Banana? You showed a great comparison between different VO models, but like, how about image generation? What should we go to, and what are the use cases for those two, Nano Banana versus Imagen?
Okay, so this is a fantastic question. At a general high level, we do recommend starting with Nano Banana, starting with Gemini 2.5 Flash image, just because of its variance and like consistency. So really a top-notch model. Okay. As mentioned, Imagen is really good if you want to create very fast images. So if the around 8 seconds that it takes Nano Banana is too slow, then Imagen has a faster variant. If you need 2K or higher resolution, Imagen is still better in that regard. The masking capabilities still supported in Imagen 3. So if you need that, use Imagen. Otherwise, Gemini 2.5 Flash image. And there is also the Vertex VTO. VTO is virtual try-on. So if, for example, you want to specifically, you're in the use case of, let's say, for e-commerce, you have a piece of clothing and a model, and you want the model to wear the piece of clothing, and you're not getting good enough results with Nano Banana. This is a dedicated model for this use case, right? So at a high level, in the vast majority of cases, you are best off working with Nano Banana, with these small nuances of sometimes with regards to performance or feature set.
Okay, in my understanding, I was always saying, like, if you need to generate a lot of images and in the, let's say, consistent way, that's Imagen. But for all the editing, if you want to play with it, it's exactly this conversational style. You want to tell, change this, character consistency, merge pictures together. So like editing, modifying, that's a Nano Banana, which is Flash in that slide, right?
Yeah, you get perfectly good images from Imagen 4, and if you have a specific style that you're looking to do, like let's say 3D renders, just run it in Imagen, run it in Nano Banana, and see which one works for that specific style.
Exactly, and this is why I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to try on AI Studio. The AI Studio is your sandbox, your playground. If you're not sure about the model, the how many tokens it will take, how fast it's going to be, go to AI Studio. There is a free tier over there, and you can choose different models, use the same prompt, and see what works better for you, right?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay, let's move to images and videos, but more of an ethical and prohibited policies. The question is, when I try to make a video with VO3 using an image of a person that I did with Nano Banana, VO3 show me a warning that for some policies the video cannot be created. Can you please go deep into this subject if possible?
Okay, so that is a great question, and in general, we at Google need to protect personas, right? So we cannot have you, let's say, generate a video of a celebrity saying something, or other use cases, right, where it can be abused. With that being said, I completely agree that in some cases the guardrails are not exactly tuned. So even with the video that I showed with the woman with the orange hair, in some of the cases I didn't get generations from VO3, as it said, I don't create celebrities, but she's not a celebrity. She's generated with Nano Banana. So you might actually end up tripping on these cases. It is unfortunate. You can, if this is something really blocking your workflow and consistent, I do share my details. Write to me on LinkedIn. Tell me, hey, this is clearly a problem, and I promise you to do my best to check with the actual teams that are working on this to make sure that the guardrails are in tune to protect from abuse, but not blocking your actual workflows. I do acknowledge there is sometimes false positives. We are working on resolving them, and hopefully, and again, if you have something that's blocking you, let me know, and I'll do my best to have that resolved.
Okay, thank you very much for this one. And being open also to look at the personal queries. Last one up, because we just have like 3 minutes and I have to finish the class as well. It's about the consistency. You talked about the character consistency, especially in the images and video, and maybe this is just a segue or a teaser for the next session. But what about the voice consistency? Like how to keep it? Will you tell us on the next session about keeping that? Because like images and videos, we have it clear and we covered this today. What about voice in the future?
Okay, so another superb question. So part of the challenge with creating voices with VO is the voice consistency and even the accent consistency, right? So, for example, if I have my presenter, the woman with the orange hair, and I just say this text, then it might say it one time in a American accent, another in a deeper voice in an Australian accent, and another in a British accent, right? In a higher voice. So you are able actually in the prompt to explicitly describe the voice, right? So you say, she says XYZ with a California Valley accent, and higher pitched voice and whatever. And that will generally get you within the vicinity. It does not solve 100% like consistency. We do have a session with 11 Labs on later on next week. And in that session, they are going to showcase their voice changer technology, which is very effective at like bringing this consistency to your VO videos. Moreover, there are other techniques, as you mentioned, Timon, that we'll go through using Gemini TTS and other forms of delivering voice consistency. So hopefully that kind of captures the essence of the answer.
And we're probably going to go deeper on the next session, which is absolutely voice-related. Shai, thank you very much. 90 minutes past almost exactly right now. Thank you once again for being with us. And I wish you could be with us on the chat, but like you cannot be in all the places at the same time, show a presentation, prompt the model, and also be there. But like I can tell you definitely there was a good vibe today. Thank you for your time very much. And for all of you, thank you also for your time and finding the time for Startup School. I hope you like the Nano Banana Basic and VO3 applications. Next one up on Thursday, the same time, we're going to meet again with Shai, but we're going to talk about the speech. We're going to talk about AI-powered audio and what Google has to offer in that sense and how to, similar today, a lot of demos, a lot of notebooks, and to show you how to utilize it to full. Maybe you don't even know yet what are the potential applications for your businesses. So I hope you're going to get out of this next one inspired. I right now see that there is a small bug on the slide. It's Thursday, November 6th, in 2 days. Thursday, AI-powered audio, expressive speech to quality control with Shai Alon. This was Timon. Thank you very much for your time today. See you.